Hi BookTube! My name is Sarah and welcome to Reading Category Romance and welcome to a daily reading update. Today is the 19th of October and it is just after lunch. It's Sunday. Happy Sunday, everybody. I know it's been a few days since I've talked to you guys, but to be honest, I haven't been doing a lot of reading. I've been a little stressed out, if you will. Reason being because I'm not feeling well and I really need to get in to see this liver doctor and I still hadn't gotten an appointment and they had told me I'd have an appointment early next week. Like they'd book an appointment for me early next week for a date in the future. And finally on Friday, I was messaging with my transplant coordinator team. So there's a nurse and she's like the coordinator of everything. Like if I have appointments that need to be done or anything like that, like it all goes through her, kind of an idea. She'll message me and say, hey, can you get some blood work done or whatever the case may be. So she's a super sweet woman and I really, really like dealing with her. She's like right on the ball with stuff. And she messaged me about my blood work and I messaged her back and I said, hey, by the way, I still haven't heard anything from this liver doctor and I'm getting very concerned because I'm starting to feel unwell, which means I need another procedure done to get rid of fluid because it builds up relatively quickly and nothing's being done. So she messaged them urgently and I have an appointment to see the liver doctor this Wednesday. So I'm very, very happy about that. So hopefully we can get something done that's going to make me feel better, at least maybe give a solution that's more long-term, instead of like booking an appointment, waiting till I feel unwell, booking another appointment to get the procedure done. Maybe it can be like what I'm hoping is an ongoing, we're going to get this done every 3 weeks kind of an idea, just a preventative maintenance thing, which I'd be very happy with. So we had that I was dealing with. Also, the car had to go into the shop on Friday. That was a bunch of money. It is what it is. Nothing I can do about it. I needed the car. I need to get to appointments. I need to get to doctor's appointments and things like that. So anyway, it's been a bit of a stressful time the last few days, but I'm feeling much better now. Like mentally, I'm feeling better now. I'm still feeling off. I'm okay if I'm just sitting and relaxing. But the fluid buildup really does make me lethargic. It makes my back hurt for obvious reasons. I just don't feel like getting up and doing anything. I don't feel well. Right now I'm still eating and drinking, which is great. Like I'm not nauseated or anything like that, which is like kind of what happens right before I usually get one of these procedures done. I'm hoping we can get to that point. Like we don't get to that point. We just get the procedure done before that happens. That's my goal. I don't want to feel nauseous. I don't want to not be able to eat or drink, it's kind of eating and drinking is kind of important. So anyway, this is why I'm off on medical leave, to be honest, is that there's just so much that I'm trying to deal with. And if I had to do all this in work as well, there's no way. Like I've got like appointments just coming. I've got to go down to the hospital twice next week. I have to go down on Wednesday to see the liver doctor and I have to go on Friday to see my kidney doctor. And then I have appointments like in early November to get another CT scan done. And I have to see the oncologist again. Like she wants a follow-up appointment with me, even though everything's tickety-boo there, they're still going to follow me just to make sure everything's continues to be tickety-boo, basically. So, when you're medically dealing with stuff, it's a lot and it can kind of take over everything in your life in a way, right? I have to go for blood work all the time now, like blah, 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 blah. So it's frustrating. Financially, it's really, really stressful. Garrett has sent out hundreds upon hundreds of resumes over the last 6 months that he's been unemployed, and he has not heard word one back from anybody, not a single interview, and his employment insurance ran out last week. Mine is not set to kick in for another week or two, so I'm not meaning to complain, guys. This is why I'm a little stressed. I am so fortunate, though, that I do live in a country where the medical stuff I don't have to worry about. I don't have to think about, okay, how much is this doctor's appointment going to cost me? Is insurance going to cover it? Is blah, 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 blah. I'm really, really lucky there. So I'm not complaining about that, and I never would. I'm forever grateful for the healthcare in this country, especially the hospital that I deal with, that it's the best hospital in the country. And I am a patient there. I'm lucky enough to be a patient there. So that's not my complaint. It's just everything else is a little stressful. Anyway, it's a thing. on a side note, I did restart the memberships for the channel if anyone is interested. There's only one tier. It's $2.99 Canadian a month. You get early access to videos. I'm going to try and do members only shorts, members only polls, like to pick a next book for me to read, stuff like that, like going forward, you know, and I'm thinking that if I really kind of like go into the channel and like do this fun stuff, then it's going to take my mind off of everything else, if that makes sense. So that's kind of my goal here. So yay on that one. So if you'd like to join, the membership button is below. That would be wonderful. But anyway, you guys are not here to hear my tales of woe. So I do apologize for being, you know, a Debbie Downer at the beginning, but that's life. And like I was talking to my aunt yesterday and she said, I'm not someone who complains. Like for me to complain, you know, I'm frustrated and I'm tired and, you know, there's just so many things going on and it gets to be overwhelming. Like I said to my husband, I felt better before I had the transplant. And now after the transplant, everything was supposed to be hunky-dory and it's not. And now I'm dealing with all these other things and it sucks. You know, being a medically complex person really does suck sometimes and it's hard. It's really, really hard. So my heart goes out to anybody else who's dealing with anything else like this, because as grateful as I am that I got the transplant, and I know once I get through this hurdle and once this starts to get better, then I'm going to be in a much, much better place and much, much happier. It just takes a while to get there, if that makes sense. So yeah, but anyway, that is that. Let's get into the reading, what little bit of it I have done. I did say that I was going to do my weekend books today, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm just, I haven't really read anything since. So I was hoping to have more books to talk about. That was kind of my plan, but I'll do a video next week and I'll include those other 2 books that I had already finished. So what am I currently reading? I'm currently reading Colton First Responder. I am 35% of the way through this one. And like at the beginning, this was so good. So I talked about this the other day about this prisoner or whatever is being transported from the prison to the court. Sorry if you can hear Missy. She's running around the house screaming for whatever reason. She's very unhappy. Come here, Moo. She's just standing outside the door screaming. Or crying or whatever you want to call it. She wants to play. I'll play with her as soon as I'm done. So anyway, she's being transported, an earthquake happens, and unfortunately the driver of the police van or the prison van is killed when a tree falls on the vehicle, and she manages to escape. So this was great. Like right the first chapter, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And then it kind of got stupid, to be honest. So she ends up in this fishing cabin not far from where the accident happened. And part of the cabin was like kind of destroyed, but she's kind of staying there. And then Grayson, who's our male lead, her name is Savannah, he finds her and he agrees to help her because he believes she's innocent from murdering her ex-husband. But the weird thing is that she's staying in this cabin for days on end. Clearly it was not a hard place to find because she found it. So how the police haven't located her yet, because they must be looking for her. And he brings her like essentials, which is fine. You know, he's trying to help her out. But you are like evading, or what is it? Like, he could be arrested for what he's doing. Like she's a wanted felon. Like, you know what I mean? And he's like helping her, aiding and abetting. Is it something like that? So, but he brings her like food and stuff, which fine, whatever, and brings wine. And then the 2 of them are sitting there drinking wine in one scene. I'm like, shouldn't you be concerned about like trying to prove your innocence? Or going into hiding more than just some random fishing cabin, you know, that the owners could come back to at any day to see if there was any damage from the earthquake. Like it started to get kind of stupid. And the 2 of them, of course, have an attraction to each other and all these things. So I don't know about this one. I really, really don't. The whole story is basically her in this cabin and him coming to see her and her pining about, is he going to come see me? And him thinking about how hot she is. It's kind of weird. That's all I have to say. And I'm a little because I love Linda O. Johnson's work, and this one's a little disappointing. The other one that I started, but I only got 1 chapter into, was How to Lasso a Cowboy by Shirley Jump. Again, I haven't been reading a ton, but I did get 1 chapter into this, and this is going to be an enemies to lovers story. I talked about this one, that it sounds like their small town does kind of this this thing, a matchmaking lottery, where people's names are put into hats, and then 2 people pardon me, I've got the hiccups, are chosen. I always get the hiccups when I sit down to talk to you guys. And these two are picked to go together, to go out on a week of dates. So they agree to do it, but I guess they end up falling in love. So it sounds super cute. And I did start a new book this morning because I was looking at my NetGalley and I have a lot of books that I want to read. Not I need to read, but I want to read. And I want to get to these books. I have them sitting there. Some of them, like the one I've started on, came out months ago, I think back in August. But I'm going in order of release date, and so far, I'm really enjoying this one. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be like, oh my gosh, you're starting at book 9 in the series. Yes, I'm starting at book 9 in the series, but I don't care. I'm currently reading Claws Out by, is it Kate Conti? And this is a Cat Cafe mystery series book. It's book number 9, like I said. I have not read any of the previous books. I debated on starting at book 1, but I decided not to. I decided I'm just going to, because I don't want to read book 1 and then like have to read books 1 through 8 to get to book 9. I'm like, I'll just read book 9. And if I like this one, then I'll go back and start the series from the beginning. That's the way that I'm looking at it. And I have a couple of I have a bunch of these that they're series that I have not read. I have on NetGalley, and I have much later books in the series. I'm just going to go ahead and read them because I'm someone who, it doesn't bother me to read a series out of order. And I know a lot of you are going to be like, oh, but, you know, it's going to be ruined. And already I've been ruined for probably plot points that took place in previous books with the main character's sister and a wedding that's coming up and things like that. And those kind of things, that to me is not a spoil. This is just my personal opinion. That's not a spoil. You can't spoil that. A spoil to me would be like a thriller, like the twist in a thriller. You know, like I'll never forget years and years ago, my dad and I were at some place, it was the flea market. And Dad used to buy a lot of, we're going way back, DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff like that. And we were standing around and he had picked up the movie The Sixth Sense. And he was talking to the woman beside him, and a comment was said about the end of the movie and the big plot twist at the end of that movie. I'm not going to say what it is, but those of you who know, right? And I had never seen The Sixth Sense. I turned around and go, well, now I don't have to watch the movie. Like, that to me is a spoil. It's like reading a romance novel, right? You're like, oh, you know, are the couple going to get... Yes. The couple that you meet on page 1 are the couple that are going to end up together on the last page. That's how a romance novel works. So for me, a couple that ends up together or anything like that, that's not a spoil. It's... So, you know, when eventually I go back and read book number 1, and I am enjoying this book, if I go back and read book number 1, it's going to be like, oh, okay, so this is where it started. So, okay, that's where we're going to eventually get to. That's fun. You know what I mean? That's just my personal opinion. And I understand other people who are like very, very dedicated series and series reader in order people. And I appreciate you people. And I think there's room for both of us, both of our types of people. Anyway, for Claws Out, it is super cute so far. I am already, I think, like 10% of the way through it. I do have it as an ebook from NetGalley, and I have it downloaded on my Kindle. But I did grab the audiobook from Everand, and I am liking it. So I was listening to the audiobook a bit this morning when I was doing some of my knitting. So this is a story about a woman named Maddie. This is her series, and her cat named JJ, who is a ginger tabby, it sounds like my George. And she runs a cat cafe. So it's like a cafe that houses rescue cats. And in this installment, she is actually, her and the gang, I guess the group of people that she works with, they have a, what do you call it, like a food cat truck, and they're going from their little town in Massachusetts, this little island town in Massachusetts, to Provincetown, Rhode Island. Is it Rhode Island? And they're going to a cat and literary festival. So they've got this like food truck where they're going to be selling like cafe items, as well as having cats up for adoption for people to adopt. And I guess someone's going to get murdered. We haven't gotten to that point just yet. What I really like about this book is the chapters are super short. I kind of really like that because they're like a really quick, like, oh, let me just read another chapter. I really, really love that with books. I'm a short chapter kind of girl. But yeah, I am enjoying this one. So yay. But yeah, that's about all that I have right now that I'm reading. Hopefully I'll get another update done for you guys tomorrow. I'm hoping to be back tomorrow with another update. I'm not promising every day, but I'm doing the best that I can. I'm hoping that once I see this doctor on Wednesday, things can kind of get going and we'll have a plan in place and I can get to feeling good every day, which will be like kind of the goal here. You know what I mean? That's all I want. I'm not asking for a miracle. I just want to feel good. That's all. Like, I don't think that's asking for a lot. At least I don't think so. But yeah, but I'm hoping, I haven't, as you noticed, I'm not really doing TBRs at this point, but I am going to be starting to be reading Christmas books exclusively about mid-November. So about a month from now. So in the next few weeks, I'm going to be probably doing a series of videos where I'm going to be sharing like the Harlequin print books that I'm going to be reading for the holidays, the ebooks that I'm going to be reading, and then the NetGalley books that I'm going to be reading. So I'll probably be doing a series of videos, just kind of like the next 10 books. So they'll all be holiday related. And I think going forward, that's probably what I'm going to do is the next 10 books. So as I finish, 10 physical books, I'll be picking my next 10 and I'll do a video with my next 10 books. So instead of a monthly TBR, that's more what I'm going to be doing. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy that. And definitely next week, I'm hoping to get a lot read this week, fingers crossed. And if I do, then I will be doing a weekend books video next Sunday. I really want to get back into doing those because I like just having those dedicated videos for just reviews, if you will. So anyway, guys, that's all that I have for today. I do hope that you enjoyed it. And until my next one, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.